לא תזבח ליהוה אלוהיך, שור ועשה אשר יחיה בו מום כל דבר רע, כי תועבת יהוה אלוהיך הוא, כי ימזה בקרבך באחד שעריך אשר יהוה אלוהיך נותן לך איש או אישה אשר איש or isha, man or woman, אשר יעשה את הרע בעיני יהוה אלוהיך לעבור בריתו. That word barit, covenant, close to ibrit. A&A be eyes. Not gonna put too much on y'all right now. Why yelek? Why abod? Would be like serve. Elohim. Akarim. Vayish tahu. Lahem. Wela shemesh. Sun. O la yereah moon. O lekol zabah hashamayim. Asher lo ziwiti. Siwiti. Wahugad laka washamata wadarashta heiteb wahine emet nakon hadabar neyesta hatoeba hazot ba'Yisrael. Vahotzeta et ha'ish hahur o et ha'isha hahiu esher asu et hadabar hara haze el shareka et ha'ish o et ha'isha uskaltam wa abanim wa metu alpi Shnaim Edim o Shlosha Edim Yumat Hamet Lo Yumat Alpi Et Ekad. Yad hand Yad Haedim Tihye Bo Barishna Lahamito Wayad Kol Ha'am Ba'akarona Ubiarta Hara Mikrbeka Ki Yipale Mimka Dabar La Mishpat Justice Bein Dam Ladam Bein Din Ladin Ubein Nega. No, I didn't just say the quote-unquote N-word. It's Nega. La Nega Dibre Ribot Bishareka we Kamta we Alita el Hamakom Esher Yibchar Yahweh Elaheka Bo Ubata el Hakohanim Halewiim we el Hashpat Ashpet Esher Yihye Bayamim Hahem Wadarashta Wahigidu Laka et Debar hamishpat. Wa'asita al pi hadabar asher yagidu laka min hamakom hahu asher yivaha Yehovah shamarta la'asot kakol asher yoruka. Al pi hatorah asher yoruka ve'ol hamishpat asher yomru laka ta'aseh lo tasur min hadabar asher yagidu laka yamin u-shamor or u-samor. V'ha'ish asher ya'aseh bazadon abilti shamoa al hakohen ha'omed lasharet sham et Yehovah Elaheka o al hashafet umet ha'ish hahu ubiarta hara mi Yisrael. V'kol ha'am yishamau v'yirau v'lo yezidun od ki tabo al ha'aretz asher Yehovah Elaheka noten lak v'yirishta v'yashabta ba v'amarta asima alai melech a king kekol hagoyim asher sabibotai. Som tasim aleka melech asher yivakar Yehovah Elaheka bo mikereb akika, a king among your brothers. We get into the laws of the kings. Tasim aleka melech lo to call latet aleka ish nakri. It can't be a nakri that's a king over the people. It doesn't say a ger. The specific word is nakri, which is a literal foreigner, a literal stranger. So it has to be an Israelite king that y'all choose over y'all. But we see that didn't even work out. Asher lo akikahu rak lo yarbel lo susim velo yashib et ha'am mitzrayma lamaan harbot sus, a horse, wa Yehovah amar lakem lo tosifun la shub baderek hazeh out. Not to multiply horses. Basically, summarize, not sending people back to Egypt. Here's a law people try to force onto every Israelite, so-called Israelite, when it's specifically talking about kings. Velo yarbe lo nashim velo yasur lababo vekesef vezahab lo yarbe lo maod. He's not to multiply wives for himself, that his heart not be turned aside. And silver or gold he is not to multiply for himself to excess. Why is this? There's specifically talking about kings. Well, one, you gotta really think about when certain laws are put in place. A king, especially in that time, is basically a celebrity. A king has all the power already. And with great power comes great responsibility. But also with great power comes great temptation. When you have that power, it's more likely that women are going to be drawn to you So it'd be easy. You see how many Solomon had. It'd be easy for women to want to be with the king. And then what if he takes all the women? And then nobody else is left with a wife? Especially if it's even other dudes' wives. Even dudes that, even somebody who already has a husband, she see the king, it's like, you know how women can be. They'll make him more likely to commit adultery. But a king has great power and responsibility. He don't really have time to be dealing with so many women anyway. So he really shouldn't have too many wives. His focus, a king in the kingdom, in the nation of Yisrael, his main focus is to be the Torah, is to being the example to the people, is to being, basically one of the top judges as far as earth is concerned. He has to be on point. And say it also says wine isn't for kings, nor strong drink, because you got responsibility. You can't be stumbling in the law. You can't forget the law. You're drunk. You're gonna forget the law. You're gonna be thinking with your physical senses, lusting. You're not gonna be This is gonna be way harder to keep the Torah. So this specifically for the kings. And regular men themselves, we really shouldn't have too many women because we have duties ourselves. But especially for a king, the nation, the Torah, the Most High, the nation is his focus. He's the leader. When the king goes off, the whole people go off. When the head is cut off, the body falls. Yeah, people try to use this to say that any Israelite can't have more than one wife, and that's not the case. Silver and gold also, because it's easy for a king. He already has all this power and wealth. You can't be greedy. You gotta think of your brothers. It's coming up right here. It's actually coming in the next verse. It shall be when he sits on the throne of his kingdom, he's to write himself a copy of this Torah or instruction in a record before the presence of the Levitical priest. Is to remain beside him. He's to read out of it all the days of his life, in order that he may learn to have all for Yahweh, his Elohim. And be careful concerning all the words of this Torah instruction and these laws to observe, that his heart not be raised above his brothers, that he not turn aside from what's commanded to the right or left, in order he may prolong his days over his kingdom, he and his sons in the midst of Yisrael. Because being a king, being put in that position, whether by the people, but especially by the Most High, you put in that position, it'd be easy to let pride set in. Like the Most High chose me, he put me as king. It's easy to let pride, creep in. So his main focus got to be, this Torah. He got to be in that Torah every day. That's his focus, not 1,000 women. He needs to study the Torah, remain humble, know why he's there, know that he can be plucked out just as easily as he get put in there, and not be above his brothers, because you're still a man. You got the Ruach, the Most High chose you or not, you still a man. You're not Clark Kent. At the end of the day, it's the Most High's will, not yours. And you got, no matter who you are, you got to keep this Torah and stay grounded. So where are we at? Welo Yarbe lo Nashim Welo Yasur La Babo We Kesef We Zahab lo Yarbe lo Meod Wahaya Kashibto al Kise Mamlakto we Katab lo et Mishne HaTorah, or instruction, Torah, Hazot Sefer, the book. Milifne, the presence, or before the face. HaKohanim, of the Kohanim, the priests. HaLeviim, the Levites. Wahaita imo wekarabo kal yeme chaya, or his life. Chaya lema'an yilmad leyira et Yahweh Elohah lishmor et kol divrei haTorah hazot ואת החוקים האלה לעשתם. לבלתי רום לבבו מאחר ולבלתי סור מן המצווה ימין ושמאל, I think I said that right. Lama'an, Yarik, Yamim, Al Mamlakto, Hu, Ubanao, Bekereb, Yisrael. Lo Yihye LaKohanim HaLeviim Kol Shebet Lewi Chelek Nakala Im Yisrael Ishe Yehovah Nakalato Yokelum Kanala lo yihye lo bekerev echa Yawahu nakalato kaesher diber lo וזה יהיה משפט הכהנים מאת העם מאת זורחי הזבח עם שור עם שא ונתן לכהן הזרוע וחל חיים והקבה. Let me see what this word is. I don't even got my, I'm have to save that. Because it looks like that word life is in there. I'll have to come back to that. I don't got my data on right now, so I don't get distracted. Reshit. Daganka, Tirshka, Yitzhareka, Reshit, Gez, Tsonka, Titen Lo, Kibo Bahar, Yahweh Elaheka, Mikol, Shabbateka, La'amod, Lesharet, B'Shem Yahweh, the name of Yahweh. Or some people might say Ba'Shem Hashem. And I'm just joking. Who Ubanal called Hayamim. וכי יבוא הלוי מאחד שערכה מכל ישראל אשר הוא גר שם ובא בכל אהבת נפשו אל המקום אשר יבחר יהוה. It's interesting how the word nefesh, they use the English appetite. I believe they use appetite for that word. Wesheret Beshem Yahweh or Beshem Hashem, as some would like to say. Elohau Kekol Aechau Haleviim Ha-Omedim Sham Lifnei Yahweh. Chelek Kekelek Yokelu Ha'it Labad Mim Karal Al Ha'abot Ki Ata Ba El Haaretz Asher Yahweh Eleheka Noten Lak Lo Tilmad La'asot Ketorabot Hagoyim and nations, Gentiles, Hahim. Don't learn to do what the Goyim do. Lo Yimatze Beka Ma'abir Beno Ubito Ba'esh Hosem Kesamim Meonen Umenakesh Mekashef. Talking about not doing all this witchcraft type stuff. Make sure I ain't missing that. Really want to keep the main focus on the reading and the language. But if I see anything I come across the expound upon, then yeah. We'Kober, Kaber, Weshael, or Weshael, Ob, Weyidoni, Wedoresh, El Hametim. You know, talking to the dead, trying to bring dead people back to life, like Saul did with Samuel. You know, it's crazy how a king that had the Ruach could fall off so far. And it started off with one act of disobedience, one act of seeking his will, his opinion over what the Most High told him to do. And he didn't even have many wives, from what I remember. Unless something wrong, but definitely not on Solomon's level to be distracted like that. But you know, Samuel had the Ruach. He was the first king. And if I recall correctly, I don't know if the Most High chose him per se, but more so the people. I know for a fact he chose Dawid or Dawad. I have to go back and look at that. Sometimes my memory don't serve me when I don't get no sleep. But yeah, that's why the king especially got to be in his Torah day and night, meditating day and night. Because he on act of disobedience, turned into a tumbleweed snowball, a giant tumbleweed on top of a mountain, and turned to a snowball. And then it caught on fire. And then it ran into a damn, I can't even think right now, but it ran into something flammable or explosive and just exploded, you know. He started inquiring of the dead, which is in Torah if he was meditating. And I'm sure he knew that. There's no way he didn't know that unless he wasn't really meditating on Torah. But he had to be because he expelled all these spiritist people, whatever, necromancers out the land. So he knew, but he still broke it. And this is a man who had the Ruach Kadesh, or the Ruach HaKadosh. You know, Dawid also had the Ruach Kadesh, and he still did what he did. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So if they can mess up, you gotta be extra on point. I myself, I kind of know, I got the Ruach Kadesh, and I'm not gonna get into all that, but with great power comes great responsibility. So whether you know or think you have the spirit of the Most High, that great power that I was talking about earlier, great responsibility, you got to be extra on point, because you don't want him to strip that from you. That would be terrible. That got to be the worst feeling. Like, you on cloud nine, you have all these signs, you have experiences with the Most High, he's done so many things for you, answer prayers like that immediately, save your life type stuff, reverse curses on people, give you dreams type stuff that lets him know he's in your life and stuff. And you do something, and I don't know how somebody loses the Ruach. I don't know how you have it. And you just basically throw it away, or how, like, you think if somebody had it, it'd be even harder for them to sin. So I don't know. But that makes me just want to stay even more guarded, more 10 toes down, because even the slightest, even if I feel like I slightly sinned, like I feel disgusted with myself, or if I didn't do what I should have did, or could have did, or I could have did better, that's a constant prayer for me. Like bless me with wisdom, for one, wisdom how to lead your people, to be a better example, a better son, better brother, better follower, teacher, a better leader. Everything, a better servant. Constant prayer, and for forgiveness if whether known or unknown, if I didn't do something I should have did, or I did something I shouldn't have did, or I acted the way I shouldn't have, or if I may have accidentally said something wrong, or ask forgiveness for that, and to take the Ruach from me. But me myself personally, I don't know everybody else, but I've been feeling invincible for a long time. And it's not because of me, it's because, I feel like I got that Ruach. The Most High is literally with me. So I'm just and to have that taken away would be probably not feel good, if I had to walk around like knowing the Most High ain't with me no more, and I'm not protected. Yeah, that would, and I'm only relying on my own power and stuff. Yeah, that would be a terrible. I don't even want to imagine that, bro. But as now, I feel like I walk around with an S on my chest because of the Most High, because he rewards me for how I move, and my faith in how I walk, and of course his mercy and stuff. I'm not gonna try to put too much attention on me, like it's me. It's more so him. So yeah, it's crazy how dudes that had the Ruach and they just let it slip. You gotta be careful. You gotta be extra careful, man. Did I read this yet? Ki toabat Yehovah kol ose ele ubiglal hatoebot ha'ele Yehovah eleheka morish otam bipaneka tamim tihye im Yehovah eleheka ki hagoyim ha'ele esher ata yoresh otam el monenim ve'el kosmim yishma'u ve'ata lo ken natan leka Yehovah eleheka nabi a prophet. Mikirbeka Meaheka, the brothers. Kamoni Yakin. Laka Yehovah Elaheka Eliah Tashimaun. Shema, that word in there, hearken or listen. Kekol Asher Sha'alta, asked. I believe that word is related to the Saul, because I believe that word means to like ask or inquire or something like that. Sha'alta, or his name Shaul. Sha'alta. Me'im Yehovah Elaheka Bekore Bayom, in the day Hakahal Le'amor Lo Osef Lishamoa Et Kol Yehovah Elohai Ve'et Ha'esh Hagadolah, great fire, Hazot Lo Ere Aod Velo Amut. Vayomer Yehovah Elai Heitibu Esher Diberu Nabi Akim. Let's go back to that. Talking about raising, if there's a prophet in your midst, that he'll raise up for you. So we're back. Nabi Akim Lahem Mikereb Akehem Kamoka Wenatati Debarai Bafil Wediber Elehem Et Ka Esher Atsawenu. And raise up a prophet like Moshe from among the brothers, place the words of his mouth, speak whatever he commands. V'haya ha'ish asher lo yishma el debarai asher yedaber bishmi anoki edrosh meimo. If you don't listen to the words which he speaks in the Most High's name, Ak Hanabi Asher Yazid Ledaber Dabar Bishami et Asher Lo Tziviti Ledaber Ve'asher Yedaber Ba'esh Elohim Acherim Umet Hanabi Hahu. But prophet who speaks presumptuously a word in his name that he did not command him to speak, or speaks in the name of other quote-unquote Elohims, prophet shall die. We'll get more into that later. But this is why you gotta be very careful, like, especially all these people here claiming to be prophets and stuff. You gotta be very careful what you say in the Most High's name, like, especially claiming that he said something, claiming he told you to say something. You be very careful. You better make sure that was him, and not just not just a thought in your head or your heart that's deceitful above all things. Reki Tomar Bilbaberka Eka Neda et Hadabar Asher Lo Libro Yehovah Asher Yedaber Hanabi Be'esh Yehovah Velo Hihiye Hadabar Velo Yabo Hu Hadabar Asher Lo Libro Yehovah Bazadon Libro Hanabi Lo Tagur Mimenu. Let's go back to 21. Now, if you ask, how do we know that he spoke or not? How do you, that Yahweh did not speak? Should the prophet speak in the name of Yahweh, but the word don't happen, not come about, then that word that Yahweh did not speak, with presumption did the prophet speak it. It'd be a false prophet. And we also saw that in Deuteronomy, Debarim 13. Even if people show signs, but they try to lead you away from the Most High and worship another God or worship them, you don't hearken to them. That is why now it's okay for people to be like, they think this is going to happen. They think this is going to happen, But when you come out like, especially there's people on YouTube and Facebook, people dubbing themselves prophets and prophetesses, and they speak for the Most High and stuff. Some of them are very careful to not even say his name, so that they're kind of, they're playing it safe. But even if you're not using his name, you're saying that God, or who they think is God, they're still kind of playing. They're playing with fire, But you gotta be a real bold, person to use the name of the Most High and say that in the name of the Most High, this is gonna happen this day, or this time, or this is gonna happen. You gotta be really bold, and you better know that it came from. He better have told you that, because you're playing with fire. You're playing with your life, and you're asking for death. Kind of, you're making his name void. You're making his name vain, because you're using it for falsehood. You're making your own prophecy that he didn't tell you to say, or he didn't tell you it was going to happen. So, y'all gotta be careful with that shit or stuff. It's a lot. I'm saying, cussing on Shabbat, my bad. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Not that it's really a sin. It's man-made, but I'm trying to stop saying certain words. But yeah, that's it for now, y'all. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Atah Yahweh. Malachi. Righteous King. Yahweh Sadak. Eloheinu, Abatenu, our God, our Father. All praise to him and him alone. Shabbat.